The Pulse Star Evolution cards acknowledge the fact that a new world is emerging, and it has the potential to be an evolutionary leap forward for all of life on planet Earth. Change comes in many ways. Your evolutionary leap depends on you. Remember that now. Make the most of this time for you and for the greater good. The Pulse Star Evolution cards are a tool that can assist you on your journey to embrace your higher self. Rooted in the wisdom of the tarot, the Pulse Star Evolution cards can bring insight and deeper meaning into your life and lead you to greater harmony, healing, and transformation. The illustrations of Dawn Williams Boyd and the wisdom of Audrey Scott Williams and R.C. Ogg Pulse anoint the Pulse Star Evolution cards, creating a powerful tool to assist you in navigating life's ups and downs in this time of great evolutionary potential. We begin our reading with our first set of cards. These are the cards that represent where we are right now. And so the first card that showed up in this reading is the card that represents the seeker. Okay? The card that represents the seeker. And the seeker indicates that a journey has just begun. And of course, the seeker is you, the seeker is me, the seeker is all of us. And as we move forward on our journey, we will encounter guides because that pulse inside of us, that impulse, is reaching out like a radar and attracting to you and to all of us what we need in terms of the cards. Who are they going to call forward right now that have the attributes that can help us along the way? So we are the seeker. All of life is the seeker. The next star that shows up is the Star Lady, and she represents the guiding light. Every seeker needs a Star Lady. Every seeker needs that lighthouse, that guiding light to help us find our way. The star, the guiding light of the star inspires, renews hope, and instills a sense of trust, faith, and empowerment. After all, the star reminds you of your light within. So as we're stepping off that mountaintop, as the seeker, as the journeyman, and some call the fool, we are depending on this guiding light to guide us forward, to inspire, to give us that sense of new hope, much like a lighthouse for a ship in the harbor, guiding us home. The next card that showed up in the reading is the Shaman. The Shaman represents tradition and convention. The Shaman is the teacher of wisdom based on the past, the builder of the bridge between the divine and humanity. And the shaman has its roots in tradition. So now we have the shaman, the teacher of wisdom, appearing. We have the Star Lady, or the guiding light, as the seeker continues its journey. The next card we have is the Moon, which is the emergence of hidden truths. Hidden truths begin to surface as you rise above the illusion and above the deception of individualism. Time to surrender and allow your intuition to guide you to shift from self-absorbance to awareness of the value of an inclusive community. We are not the mighty individuals out there to change the world. We are a part of the web of life that when we remember who we are, we connect the chords, we connect with all of life, and it's through that awareness that we find the true value of what it means to be human. So the moon is showing up to illuminate the hidden truths within. And then the final card that shows up in this particular, in our first level, is the Hangman. Now, what could the Hangman represent? But the opportunity to be suspended in time for deep reflection and to have access to see the world from a different point of view. As we all are moving through this time of so much uncertainty on one level, and yet on another level, there's this sense that we're moving into something better. Well, in the midst of this, we are like the Hangman. We are suspended in time, deeply reflecting to ourselves, what is all this about? And at the same time, because we're suspended upside down, we're having an opportunity to look at ourselves and the world around us from different points of view. Now we go to our next level. We level up. And the first card that showed up in this reading again was the Seeker, continuing the journey. And the Magician shows up. Awakening is what the Magician represents. Awakening to your full potential. So the Magician is calling out to all of us that are connecting with his energy to awaken. There's something inside of us that is calling forward exactly what the world needs right now. Our perspective, our energy, our vision, our deep knowing that we are all a part of a beautiful universe. Not separate from, but one with. So the Magician is waking us up. It's like tapping us on the head with the wand. And then the Hermit is saying at the same time that you're waking up, turn within. In other words, make that conscious choice to turn within. All the answers that we seek are inside of us. And when we are connected with one another, we find that the truth of who we are begins to be illuminated as we turn within and as we connect with those who are around us, who are on the same level of vibration. Then we begin to see that deep hidden mystery of who we are, whose we are, and who we are yet to become. The next card that shows up is the World. And the World is letting us know that we've come to the end of a cycle. An end of the cycle of our life and an end of a cycle of the world around us. So now is the time to begin opening the way for new beginnings. So now is the time to open the way for new beginnings. I want you to hear that. New beginnings. And when we talk about new beginnings, the next card that shows up represents death. Detachment, dying to ourselves to become reborn. And I said, open the way for new beginnings also means when the death card shows up, that as we open, we have to detach. We have to detach from those things that no longer serve us. And that means a dying to ourselves to be reborn. So as I look at this overall reading, the message that I get from this is where we are right now is saying we've just stepped off the mountain. Are we going to fall? Are we gonna sail the wind? Or are we going to rise and fly? And I think that's the question that this time calls forward in us. You see, there's no answer for the issues that we're facing right now, either individually or collectively, that exists outside of ourselves. And so the Star Lady is certainly illuminating the light around us right now in this moment, as the shaman is allowing the wisdom of the ages. Now, we're not just talking about the last few hundred years. We're talking about going back to antiquity to draw forward the information and knowledge that can assist us in this moment. And the moon is emerging, is allowing us to connect with these emerging truths that have been hidden within us. Some of us are mighty surprised that we're coming up with these creative ideas, with logical sequencing of things, with looking at the universe and understanding it, finding that the energy that impacts us in our choices right now are also is the energy that is impacting literally the birth of stars, the birth of the expansion of the universe as we know it. Now, as we look to the future, what card would you be drawn to? Would it be the Magician? Full of potential, awakening that potential within you? Would it be the Hermit? Time to turn within? Would it be the World? Saying that you've come to the end of the cycle and we're getting ready to start a new one? And the world is opening that possibility, that new beginning emerging for us? Or death, detachment, dying to yourself to be reborn? Well, in this selection, in asking the grandmothers to guide me to the cards that were most important today, these were the cards that came up. Now, every time you do a reading with the Pulse Star Evolution cards, you have some helpers. They're called avatars. 3 of the avatars showed up for this reading. One was the picture of the snake eating its tail. The other is the black crystal. And the last one is the Pulse Star. The 3 cards, the 3 avatars that are showing up, the first one is the snake eating its tail. What is that saying to us? It's saying that this is symbolic of the cyclical nature of the universe, where creation begins after destruction and life springs from death. The serpent eating its own tail is symbolic of the eternal cycle of renewal. And since it has showed up in our reading, we understand that we are in a cycle of renewal. And what was slipping away so that the new can emerge. In other words, this is a time of correcting our course. The next avatar that shows up is the black crystal. Now, the black crystal indicates the truth that prevails beyond time and space. Now, it's interesting because as the snake is eating its tail, it is remembering its tales, it's remembering its stories, its past, and it is acknowledging that creation is taking another step forward, that after the destruction, and we've certainly seen a lot of that on a lot of levels, physically, spiritually. We see it on the earth. We see it in the rainforest. We see it with this pandemic. We see this with hatred and violence around the planet. Well, that's evident of the destruction, the destructive forces. But remember, life springs from death. So the serpent is showing us that the eternal cycle of renewal is active right now. And then we have the Pulse Star. The Pulse Star represents that lighthouse that we talked about with the Star Lady. And the lighthouse here is the light that is only for the observer, only for the person who is opening their third eye, opening their heart, that they can see the light. And as they see the light, it connects you to the universal rhythm of creation. And it symbolizes the way forward and assists in navigating through rough waters. We're in the rough waters now, and our assistance comes from the awareness of our observation of the lighthouse. At the end of the tunnel, there is a light that is guiding us home. And so whether our waters are turbulent because of financial issues, personal issues, health issues, business, spiritual, or nature, we are being shown the way home. So if the pole star is showing up in our spread, as it is showing us the way forward and will assist us in navigating the rough waters in all aspects of our life. I think this is a very relevant reading to the time that we're in. And I encourage you to have the recording of this, because not only is this reading for the time that we're in, this reading is also for you. For anyone that's on this call, this is our individual and collective reading. There's something in here for everyone who is listening within the sound of my voice. I just would like to add that the grandmothers of the four directions are encouraging us to look beyond the obvious and look deeper into the fullness of who we are. What does that mean? That means to see not only with our eyes, but to see with our third eye, to see with our heart, to see with everything that is within us, the awakening, the dawning of a new day. You see, it wasn't about humanity having a great war again, human beings initiating a great war to solve the problems. This is a spiritual time. This is a time when the universe is saying to all of us, listen, pay attention, seek the guidance that is being given to you. Know the past. You're in the present. And make the best of the wisdom of the ancient ones in this fertile ground that we're in, where what it's time to dissolve is being dissolved, and what is ready to come forward now as our new path, our new beginning has already been set. That course has already been set. So with the guidance that was given in this reading, use this wisdom to center yourselves. It's not about the mind alone. It's about the mind and the heart and the etheric aspect of who we are, all layers coming together to guide us forward. Coming together in harmony, coming together as that light that can be a beacon for all those seekers out there that are seeking to find their way. There are so many who have stepped off the mountain, and if we stop looking behind and look forward, we will find our soul clusters, our crystal clusters. And we will unite, and out of that will come the answers that we seek. We will reflect the truth to one another, and we shall rise again. Humanity, in its most purest, beautiful essence, the gods themselves are rising in each one of us. The very essence of what it means to be alive, lifting us with great wisdom to understand that everything on this earth, matters, and everything in balance ushers in a a new age ruled by love, by joy, by a sincere openness to hear one another, to hear nature, to be in it all and absorbing it all. And out of that, the imaginary cells are ignited and the new world is emerging. And so it is.